Welcome back to another video. My name is Jasmine Templin. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down whether or not you should train around your menstrual cycle and my honest opinion on this. And this might be a little bit controversial to some because I know there are a lot of coaches out there who say definitely train around it and you can take it easier on certain weeks and then you can push harder on other weeks. And whilst in theory this absolutely makes sense, I am going to break down why I don't agree with this approach. See, if you go in with the mindset of, oh, I'm in this part of my cycle or I'm on my period, I'm gonna have an easier week of training because I just know I'm gonna be exhausted and naturally not gonna be able to push as hard. If you go in with that kind of mindset, you've already lost the battle. Whereas if you go in with a mindset and you tell yourself that you're feeling really strong today and that you're feeling really good, or you don't have any limiting beliefs on yourself mentally, like half the battle a lot of the time is just showing up. And if you are already telling yourself that because you're on your period or that you're due for it, that your training isn't going to be as good, it's like you're already shooting yourself in the foot. What could potentially be a great session, you've just dimmed your chances of that happening. The mind is such a strong thing, and if you're already telling yourself that, then you're gonna have a lot of bad sessions, because I've had so many incredible sessions when I've been on my time of the month or due for it, and we don't just have to wait for one certain week of the month to be able to really push the intensity. Because if we don't train every single time that we're on our period or that we purposely take like a deload week, then that's going to be a lot of missed sessions, especially over a yearly basis, because we get our period once a month. That's a lot of time if you are taking the time off your training that you're going to be missing your training sessions. It's still a lot of time off the gym when you don't need to, and that's even if it's not the best session, that's still going to count to overall training volume. So I don't recommend that you time your training around your period. Now, there are certain things, and this isn't to say that your period exhaustion or you feeling weak around that time of the month is invalid or dismissed, because absolutely I get it. But like I said, if you're already telling yourself that before you have even tried to give yourself a good session, then of course you're not going to have a good session, and that's going to continue feeding into the narrative. So in my opinion, if you go in with that mindset, then it's just you're shooting yourself in the foot. Go into the gym with the mindset that you are going to have the best session ever, because a lot of the time you are going to. If you have that strong mindset, you can have a really good training session. So don't bother training around your cycle. Try and show up every single day, push as hard as you can. And this is what I say to all my clients. Just when you think you're pushing yourself hard, there's another 10 levels above that you could continue pushing. So train hard. You can train so much harder than what you realize, and you can push that intensity. And then every single time that you have that hard training session, I want you to walk out of the gym and tell yourself you still could have pushed harder. Rinse, repeat every single day. So many people are just under training in terms of their overall intensity that they are pushing. And guess what? Even if it's not a great session, which is going to happen regardless of what time of the month that you're in, it's like, hey, that's still going to count towards your overall training volume, and that still adds up. So don't think even if you have a bad session that it doesn't count. It still counts. It's still extra volume to that weekly basis, and you're reinforcing that habit of still getting to the gym as well. But that's my take on training around your period. And don't get me wrong, I get really bad cramps. Heck, I'm on mine now, and I get really bad back pain on my time of the month, and it still doesn't stop me. And it's actually really good for you even if you do train on your period, because it actually helps with cramps. Like 9 times out of 10, I recommend going to the gym, especially if you have cramps, because movement is actually one of the best things and remedies to help combat your cramps. I know it definitely helps me, even if it's just to walk. it absolutely does help. So I get how tempting it is to want to just like stay in bed and just to feel sorry for ourselves with a heat pack and a bunch of chocolate and lollies, but those calories still count at the end of the day, and you absolutely are still capable, unless you have a extreme condition where your periods are really bad, or you know, like endometriosis. My gosh, saying that bad, how embarrassing. Then of course, if you have that, then that's a different story. But if you're a regular person like me, who still gets a period, who gets period cramps, pains, all of those feelings, then like you can get to the gym. And even like craving wise, it's the same thing. Like I don't increase my calories if I'm craving something more. Like what I try and do personally, I try and tell myself that it doesn't affect me in my period, even though it definitely does, and we can notice the hormone and the mood changes, like very much can notice the change in how we perceive ourselves. And I notice that on myself, like how I perceive myself, my body image for that week, or my cravings or my moods, like 100% I can notice a difference, or if I'm weaker in the gym. But I tell myself that I don't, and I gaslight myself that I don't know any difference, and my period doesn't affect me, and I don't get cramps, even though I definitely do, because it just makes things so much easier. Whereas if I'm like, oh, it's my period, I'm going to be craving lots of chocolate this week, and I'm going to be weak in the gym, and I'm just going to not do anything, then when I'm not going to be motivated to get my work done, it's like, what good is that doing? It's doing absolutely nothing. So the best thing you can do to make yourself feel good is get those happy hormones going, your endorphins, and you know how you get that is going to the gym, exercising, eating good. It makes you feel good. And yes, you're going to be holding extra water when you are on your time of the month, but it's not body fat at the end of the day, and you're going to be feeling 1,000 times better once you come off your period and once you are in that next phase of your cycle, if you had actually just stayed adherent on your period, not just like that 1 or 2 weeks of the month where you're feeling really good and your hormones are in the best place that they can be. Whereas if you are self-sabotaging yourself on your period, you're not going to be feeling so good later on. So it's honestly, in my opinion, just such a mindset thing. And this is, of course, I'm not saying that this is for everyone, because some people do have rare cases where they do have extreme period cramps and you know, you physically cannot get out of the bed. I'm not talking to this kind of person. But if it's just like some standard period pains, get to the gym. You'll probably be pretty surprised at how much better you'll feel for it. But I hope this kind of gave you a little bit of motivation anyway to get to the gym. Make sure you press the subscribe button. It's the best way that you can support me. And make sure you follow me on Instagram at Jasmine Temple and Fitness. And if you found me from YouTube, send me a message on Instagram. I would love to hear that. It means the world to anyone who watches my videos, and I just really want to help as many people as I can. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.